Hi everyone, welcome. And the very first tool that I want to talk about, it's called Backgrounder inside the Panzoid.com site. So just click on the image that says Backgrounder, and that's going to launch the program. If I hit F11 on my keyboard, it's going to make it full screen. And basically what I want to do here is show you that this here is the canvas, and right here on the very first tab, that they call templates, you have some templates that are pre-made that will allow you to move a tiny bit faster. And you also have the option to do a new project, to load a project that you've saved on your computer, or to save a project to your computer. So in this case, we're gonna load one of the templates. I'm gonna click on it and it's gonna load. I can see everything on my canvas, the background, gradient, and some text. So we're gonna move to the second tab. The second tab is the basic settings, and basically here you can choose whatever preset you want. There's some really good ones, like you can do a Facebook cover photo if you need something quick, or like a Twitter banner, even like a custom banner, so you can give it whatever width and height you want. So here's a square, and in this case we're going to start from 0. So we're going to do a new project here and on an empty blank canvas, and we're going to change the basic setting to YouTube, a video frame 4K. The reason for that is that I want to do a background for my intro and outro. So we're going to create that real quick. We see that the resolution is correct, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the layers tab, and here's where all the magic happens. So I'm just going to click on it, and you can see that there's just a single button that says add layers. I'm going to click on it, and we see the options that we have. We have the option to import an image. We have the option to add some text, to do some group of layers that are combined, and anything you do, it would affect all of them. We also have the opportunity to generate a gradient or a sunburst. In this case, for my intro, I want a gradient, so I'm just going to click on it, and automatically it just creates a gradient. But if I click here on gradient, the gradient that's been created, I can do whatever changes that I want. But some really cool thing about Panzoid and the backgrounder is that I can use these dice here to randomize different options until I find one that I like, and I can just edit that one. And that's gonna save me a bit of time. So let's see if we can find one that I kind of like. Like this one's great. I'm gonna maybe change these this teal to more of a bluish tone, more around here, and this one more towards a reddish, yeah, around here. Yeah, I kind of like that, and I can change the angle, so we have it more like this sideways, and that's pretty much. You can change a lot of other stuff, blend it if you have another stuff behind it, but this is the gradient that I want. Some basic stuff, and I'm just gonna download that onto my computer. So I'm gonna hit the download button here, and the format, I have three options: PNG, JPEG, WebApp. I'm gonna say that I want JPEG, and the quality, the lower, it's gonna be a smaller file size, but a bit pixelated. So I'm just gonna leave it at 1, and I'm gonna tell it to start the image render by clicking on it, and then click again to download my image, and I'm going to hit F11, and the image has been downloaded. And let me go to my downloads to make sure I have that one, and that's a nice image for my a background for my intro and outro that I want to do. So I'm just gonna save. I like to keep everything organized, and I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna save it onto my backgrounder folder just to keep everything organized, and we can close the downloads tab, and then we can just here tell it to return to editing, so we go back to where we were before. I'm gonna go back to my templates, and now what I want to do is a thumbnail for the video that I'm gonna create in the future. So I'm gonna tell it to create a new project. Once I click that, it's gonna tell me that if I leave now, all these stuff that I've made it's gonna be lost. So I don't care, no problem, because we're gonna create some new stuff from scratch. And now I have again a blank canvas. I'm gonna go to the basics. This time I'm gonna tell it to create the resolution for a video thumbnail. Everything looks good. I'm gonna go to layers, and this time I'm gonna add a layer, and I want to add a sunburst. And this works exactly like the gradient. I can use the dice here to randomize whatever I want. So we find something that is kind of close to what we want. Um, yeah, any should work. Yeah, let's say this one for example. And I'm just gonna change the color to this one from that orange to maybe this blue. And then I'm gonna remove the swirl, and I'm gonna tell here in swirl that I don't want any, so I just hit 0. And then I'm gonna change the position to holding shift. It moves faster to move it to one side, and then to move it up. There we go. And then we're going to add an image. So I hit here, add image, and we have to search for an image real quick. The video that I'm gonna do is about German Shepherd, so I'm gonna type German Shepherd. Yeah, that's correct. And I'm gonna search for an image of German Shepherd. This would be great, but let's do the tools, users right, label for reuse, and the size to be large. Let's see what comes up. Ideally, you want something that has high contrast, like these or this one. This is an image that someone else removed already, so we're gonna use this one. This one works great for what we want. That dog kind of looks like Max. I'm gonna close this tab, and I'm gonna import that image. It's there on my desktop. So if I want to move it around, I just click on it and I can move it whichever way I want. If you want to resize it, make sure you pick one of the corners. Don't do it from the sides, because it's gonna squeeze the image. So make sure you resize from one of the corners, and then you place it wherever you want. Like that should be good. And one thing that we can do to this image to remove the white background, that's why I want it clear, is to give it a blending mode so it blends with the background. So we hit multiply and it looks like that, and that's good. And then we're gonna go ahead and add a text layer, and a text layer, so we just hit here text, and it's gonna generate a text. Make sure we select it, and we can move it around and resize it if we want, but I like to do it with the font size here, so I can make it bigger. And the title that I want to give it, it's maybe Panzoid, like that. Hit enter to approve the changes, make the font bigger. That's good. And then what I want to do is I want to change I want to give it an effect. So to give an image or text an effect, I just move onto the star that appears besides the layer, and I hit on it, and then we're gonna search for one that says drop shadow, and we're gonna add a drop shadow. And if we select the drop shadow effect, we can control it, and we can change the angle if we want. We can change the opacity, we can make it darker, we can change the spread, and yeah, that kind of looks good. But it kind of overtakes the dog, right? So let's go back to the image, and let's just set it to normal, and let's add an effect to the dog, maybe a chroma key to remove the white. I'm going to tell it to remove the white by selecting it, and then with these values I can tell it how much I want to leave. And yeah, that kind of works. That kind of looks okay, right? You can see the white around, but it's not too bad. And then we can add another text layer, and in this text layer I want to do video test, or no, capabilities, video test. All right, that works. Hit enter. You see what happened? I selected the wrong layer. So Panzoid here, and then we select the proper layer, and I'm gonna hit this, and we're gonna call it capabilities video test. All right, that should work. And then we're gonna change this font to something more like this, maybe typewriter. No, this is like this one. Yeah, this one looks good. This looks good. And maybe change the color to black, and that should work fine, and we're ready to go. I really don't like these white around the image, so this is how it will look if we use only Panzoid. So I've been using this tool called GIMP, and it's pretty amazing, the stuff that you can do. I suggest that you download it, image manipulation program that you can use for free. And basically I'm just going to drag the image here. I'm going to go a bit quickly because this is not a game tutorial, and I'm going to use the magic wand selection tool to select the outside of the white part, and I'm going to use the select invert option to invert the mask, and then I'm going to tell it the layer to add a layer mask, and to where I want to do it, to the selection, add that, and now I have a transparent background that works a lot better. And I'm just gonna quickly save these as a PNG file. Let me see, PNG. Sorry about that, PNG. And then I'm gonna change the type here to PNG and export that image to my desktop. And again, if you have the option to download this to your computer, do it, because this is a powerful image manipulator. But the idea is that you can also do everything just like this, just with Panzoid. But if you want to go a little bit faster, I mean, if you want something with a bit more detail, I suggest you use that piece of software, which is completely free and it's amazing. So I'm gonna select the dog, I'm gonna delete it, I'm gonna add a layer, I'm gonna type image, and this time I'm gonna change to the one that I just cut out. I'm gonna make it smaller, and just like that we have a nicer looking thumbnail. So this is ready to go. I'm gonna go to my downloads tab. The quality and format are okay, and I'm just gonna start the image render. I'm gonna go ahead and say download image, and it's gonna download to my downloads here, and let's see it. All right, that works. We have a thumbnail. I'm just gonna change the name, and I'm gonna save it onto my backgrounder. Okay, so I can close this one here, and I can say return to editing. Just for further thought, if you were to save the project like this, it wouldn't work properly, because this image, I mean, Panzoid has a problem finding out the image after you discard everything. So my suggestion is that you always try to finish the project, and then just in case, just save it onto your computer. But it doesn't work always, and if you want to save, for example, this particular project, I would have to delete the image of the dog, because then it would always make Panzoid kind of glitch and crash, and it wouldn't work properly. So my advice is that you always finish everything and just export the image like we just did. So this is pretty much everything you need to know. You can do some pretty cool stuff really fast. You can imagine all the opportunities and possibilities that you have with this simple online program. That's something to be aware of. This is online and it's completely free, and you don't even have to log in to make it work. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you've learned something. If you like the video, make sure you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe and share it if you want to spread the knowledge. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for watching. Check out this video and don't forget to subscribe for more content.